Lyft and Uber confessional story number 40. Wow, 40 in now. So this one is kind of a sad story. We're in the midst of the pandemic now of 2020. This ride occurred a few days ago, so I'm just now getting around to getting caught up on this stuff. Uh, so I picked somebody up, he's a meat packing place, and he told me that he was just walked to the gate, and there was another guy, a couple other guys that were also walked out. I'm like, oh, you mean they just let you go? It's your last day? Yep. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I got to go through unemployment, and I don't know what I'm gonna do from that kind of a thing. It's like, your heart goes out to the dude. Um, so I proceed to let him know, yeah, that happened to me a long, long, long time ago. And you know what? I know it seems devastating right now, but it made my mind much more open to certain opportunities that my mind was closed to before. And because of that, it actually led me down a much better place with better money, much happier. I've got more time freedom in this and that. So, let the same thing happen for you. I know it seems tough right now, but just keep an open mind, or maybe open it up more than what it was before, and see what's out there that might make you even happier that you wouldn't have found otherwise. You know what I mean? And that was about it. And then I said, I blog a lot about this topic matter, tomberkenmeyer.com. If you want to go through there, I've got thousands of entries. If there's just even one little blog or one kernel of info on one blog that can help you out, cool. So I just told him about that. And who knows if he's going to go there, if he's going to look around, if he's going to find something that helps him out. I have no idea, but I at least had to put it out there. And for you as well, tomberkenmeyer.com. And so dropped him off. It was a great ride. Seemed like a really nice guy. I hope whatever path he goes down, he finds something that makes him even happier than he was before. So, and then here's the main heart of this story and why I wanted to include this in my journal entries for my rides. So, over a dozen years ago, that did happen to me. And then I became open and I started dating a girl who got involved in an online home business, which I would have said no to before. But because I was where I was at, I was more open. And let's get real, I personally knew somebody. It wasn't, an infomercial that tugged at me. I was dating this person. I knew her on an interpersonal level. So I knew it was real, and she was having success. And because I saw her having success, and this was a real person, not an infomercial, not that they aren't real, but you never know if they're exaggerated or false claims, whatever. But I knew the whole thing here was real. So I'm like, all right, I got to do this. And so I got in it, and my only prerequisite I gave myself, and still looking back, I was right, just an eagerness to learn something new and be action oriented, right? So that was it, an eagerness to learn something new and take action on what I learned, because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. None whatsoever. I had no qualifications going into it, not socially connected, didn't get good grades in school, not super talented or skilled in really anything, just an eagerness to learn something new and be consistent with the action. So it took me 90 days to change my physical health. I got super healthy because before my health was going to hell in a handbasket, so to speak. And it was about 2.5 years for me personally to change my finances, where I was not getting a paycheck from anywhere. Unemployment had already run out. I didn't have a job and I had nothing when I got into this. And so 2.5 years changed my financial situation to where I called off the job search permanently. So I basically retired myself from the job racket. So 90 days to change my health, 2.5 years to change my financial situation with my wealth. And that was a long time ago. That was 2007 I got into this deal. So by February of 2010 is when I officially retired from the job racket. And so now I'm not, so going back to this guy I had in my car, super nice guy, he obviously had nothing else financially going for him because he didn't know what he was going to do for money. He made the oftentimes fatal mistake that 98% of the population makes, and that is you put your reliance to support yourself and your family on your job, an asset that you do not own. You have no control over what happens to it. You could be a super hard worker, go the extra mile every day, as I did at my last job. It didn't matter. It was offshore to India anyway, along with my income. And same thing with this guy. His was a result of the pandemic, I would assume. And so didn't matter. He showed up every day, faithful through the pandemic, and worked hard. Didn't matter. Income gone. Now he has to go get in the unemployment line and then go back for more at some point. Or get into residual income. So that's the moral and the lesson of all of this for all of you out there hearing this. Learn residual income. It's fine to love your job. I'm not anti-job. I'm anti-dependency on some company to take care of you. That's when you run into trouble, whether it be a pandemic or business acquisitions and mergers, or maybe computer automation takes over your job. Whoops, sorry about that. Or maybe computer automation takes over your job, or I don't know, the boss doesn't like you anymore. There's a new boss that comes in. You never know what's going to happen, man. All you know is that you don't own it. So that's really high risk. And so anything can happen because you don't own it. But if you own your own residual and passive income, from assets that you personally own, because remember the prerequisite, an eagerness to learn something new. You don't know what residual income is yet or how to get it from assets that you own. The prerequisite, always fall back to that. Oh, it's an opportunity to learn something new. And I'm telling you, when you take on this particular learning curve, well, this is the one learning curve that sets you up to be an independently healthy, wealthy, secure human being for you and your family if you're raising a family. It's all about the residual and passive money. And then once you build it up to a point, you have your time freedom to spend it creating those moments and those experiences instead of worrying about how bills are going to be paid, or if something happens to your job, what's going to replace your income. You don't have to worry about that anymore. And this guy I had in my car, he could have been like, yeah, I lost my job. No big deal, because I got this residual income on the side. It totally, takes care of my family anyway. So no big deal. Go back to work or, some other job because I like having a job, whenever, but it's going to be no worry for me. But that wasn't his situation. For most of you, it's the same thing. It's, oh my God, what am I going to do? And the pandemic really exposes that. The pandemic exposes corruption in government, and it also exposes maybe an error in judgment that you made in depending on some company to take care of you for the rest of your life. And maybe there's a retirement plan, a pension plan, 401k, who knows, that you're probably depending on too, which could go up in smoke with the stock market if that ever crashes, which it's going to at some point, because that's just, the cycle of business. And again, those are assets you don't own. The stock market, you're buying stock in companies that you don't own. Anything could happen to those. So that's it. Residual and passive money. And if you'd like to learn more about it, go to Google, research it, YouTube, research it. And I've also got my website. You can look at my website. And if you're interested in the company I got involved with I help people live healthy, chemical-free lives and make better residual and passive money. So if you like the concept of taking care of your health physically and financially at the same time, then you might like the company that I'm in. So ask me for my company replicated website, and you can take a look at it and see if you see something for you to join our team and do this with us. But if it's my thing or you find something else, residual, passive money. That's your security. It's your financial freedom. It's your time freedom. It's everything. So don't neglect it, okay? The prerequisite, an eagerness to learn something new. Bye for now. Mwah.